This video is an exercise, a practice attempt with my new Canon Mark IV and with something I have never tried before, a voiceover. Every other Saturday I cook dinner for my parents, and this video attempts to capture that experience. We start with a candle. This is a poor attempt at being artsy, but in my defense, the candle does serve a practical purpose as I fried tortilla chips, and despite my best efforts, that tends to leave a lingering smell throughout the house. I do tend to listen to music while cooking dinner, and although I did listen to the record I'm starting in this shot, which was the soundtrack to The Greatest Showman, I spent most of the day listening to Lady Gaga's new album, Mayhem, on repeat, loudly. Much to the joy of my neighbors, I'm sure. And now we have me prepping the aforementioned tortilla chips. I actually prefer the taste of tortilla chips I have fried myself. It takes a little bit more time to do, but it is worth it. Here are the ingredients for the quinoa tacos I made. Of course, this is a very natural way of setting up all of my ingredients and is not staged whatsoever. Next up, we have the quinoa. It took me so long to set up my camera that my cast iron skillet got a bit too hot. As a result, the quinoa acts a bit like popcorn and starts flying all over the place. So I do lose a few of them as they attempt to eject themselves out of the pan and onto my stove, but don't worry, I retrieved them and put them in their rightful place. After a little bit of browning, I added some vegetable broth. My favorite broth to use is better than beef bouillon, dissolved in some water. Since no one other than my family watches these videos, I can safely say that nothing in this video is sponsored. And now I'm adding some salsa to the mix. I probably should have only added about half of this container, but I was a little excited and distracted with trying to manage both cooking and shooting a video. I also decided to pour a pre-mixed margarita. Like salsa, I can make a pretty good margarita, but I was being a special kind of lazy. Cooking quinoa tacos is a multi-step process. First, you have to cook the quinoa in liquid until it is tender, and then you need to transfer the quinoa to a baking sheet to finish off in the oven. I realize that this is not a very appetizing shot, but we shouldn't judge until the final product. On another note, I do wish I had chosen a different focal point for this shot, but that is the difficulty of trying to cook and film all by yourself. As the cliche goes, you live, you learn. Speaking of learning, here's a lovely shot of two exceptional butts. Enjoy as I prepare Buddy for my parents. He gets overly excited because, poor thing, I don't get out much. As a result, we need a handle to grab onto. He always knows when to expect my mom and dad, so he impatiently awaits their arrival. This next shot is a good example of why you should not trust your camera's autofocus feature, but I hope you can at least see the necessity for Buddy to wear his harness. Buddy just absolutely loves my mom and dad. Of course, knowing that he will get plenty of treats probably helps a lot. As usual with dinners with my parents, I start off with an appetizer until dinner is ready. It had been a while since my parents had visited, and I wanted to show off my manliness by pointing them towards the bookshelves I had installed since their last visit. See? The quinoa is already starting to look better. Trust the process. For the last bit of prep, I'm heating up some tortillas and grating some cheese. Once again, I trusted too much to my autofocus when I should have focused the camera manually. The result here is a shifting focus that tends to prefer my scratched up hand. The scratches are courtesy of Buddy and my need to trim his toenails. And voila, the final result. Mom and Dad are enjoying their tacos despite Dad holding his for an uncomfortable length of time. This is my fault for not giving my actors sufficient direction for what I wanted. After dinner, we have our usual catch-up conversations while Buddy consistently attempts to selfishly direct our attention to himself. But we can forgive him because who knows when he'll get visitors again. Since he has the misfortune of having cast his lot in with a loner vampire, it could be years before he encounters another soul.